To do a video for you today on Prep and Prosper, and I hope you're going to learn something from me. What do you think a property manager does? In today's video, we're going to explore the 5 duties of a property manager. A property manager is not necessarily just collecting rent, and hopefully in today's video, you're going to figure out exactly what it means to be a property manager on Prep and Prosper. Here today on Prep and Prosper, we want to go over 5 essential duties of a property manager in case you're wanting to either get into the field, want to know more about what a property manager does, or in case you're an owner and you want to know what your investment is and what the property managers do each and every day. So in today's video, we're going to go over the 5 things. A lot of times you may think that a property manager just simply goes around and collects rent from tenants, whether it's through a money order, cash, and on there we're going to talk about payments here in a second. But property management is not just about collecting rent. You're going to deal with a lot of things on collecting rent. And rent payments could come in different forms, whether you're talking about getting checks, cash, payment portals online. You're going to be looking at working with the housing authority or getting rental assistance from somewhere. So you're going to have a lot of different things of just collecting rent. Second thing we're going to look at too, as far as collecting rent, is maintenance. A property manager's job is to maintain the property for the owner. So what does that look like? It's going to depend across all different type of companies. Here at Prep and Prosper, my goal is to just show you guys how to just find vendors, pick reputable, reliable vendors that you know you're going to work with, people in your community, make sure they have all of their ducks in a row, all of their licenses, all of their insurance in a row. Have a compliance department that can make sure all of the paperwork is in order. But you're going to have to handle maintenance requests. Maintenance is a big thing in rental properties. Do you have the funds for it? Make sure you're charging the correct amount and getting your rental payments in order to be able to do maintenance. So maintenance can come in different ways. Do you want your tenants to be able to contact you directly? Are you using some type of artificial intelligence that will have a program to where, let's just say, to where people can go into a portal, submit a request, vendors can go in, accept the bid, show proof of the work, submit it through the portal and receive payment. You could go that route. You can go with a person, a local guy that sets up with his business and you just contact them each day. But you're going to have to need a process of maintenance and also what the supplies are. Look at what your main supplies that you're using each and every day. So you want to look at those. Have your maintenance guys look at how old are your appliances. Do you think the lifespan of these appliances are going to last another year? What type of flooring do you have? What type of carpeting? What type of countertops? So how are you handling plumbing calls, emergency after-hour calls? So you want to make sure you have that. So you want to make sure you have a good plan for maintenance and you have a good maintenance staff. Also, could be grounds. Are you taking care of the outside of the property? Are you hiring someone that handles the lawn care? Are you taking care of the lawn care? What about the shrubbery? What about the parking lot maintenance, the striping, the trash removal services? So all of these things need to be considered, and you can either check with your company, or if you want to accept bids, get a lot of bids, at least 3 bids from different companies, and see what you need. Talk to your potential applicants, see what they need if you want to be a good property manager. So the third thing we're going to look at, so of course it's going to be collecting rent. Second thing is going to be maintenance. The third thing, which is also important, is going to be occupancy. You as a property manager are responsible for ensuring that your units are full. For the owner, they have a tenant in them. If the tenant is moving out, you have someone else to replace them with. So occupancy entails a lot of different strategies. Occupancy is your leasing. It could be your marketing. It could be also with your renewals. Renewals is when you have someone currently living there and you would like for them to stay another year. So what is the process? Are you regulated by some type of state or HUD authority to where it's a certain process of your recertifications or renewals? So we're going to have a later video about that. Drop a comment if you would like to know more about that. Since we're talking about dropping a comment, make sure you subscribe and like to Prep and Prosper here. Our goal is just to continue to teach and educate and also learn ourselves about property management too. So back to our occupancy. How are you getting tenants? Are you marketing now leasing signs? Are you on social media channels? Are you paying a marketing agency to get leads for you. So all of these are about marketing. You can handle this whatever way you want to handle, but marketing is part of occupancy. Making sure you have a good, what is your screening criteria? That's all part of occupancy. How do you pick your tenants, and how do you ensure that you have good tenants? So look at your screening criteria. You, as the property manager, you are responsible for occupancy. Occupancy is just ensuring that there is someone inside of the unit. Some great tips. Partner with your housing authority if you are accepting vouchers. They can help make sure you have a constant flow of people that are looking for housing. Partner with your local nonprofits. Partner with your local churches. Inside of a church, you never know. There's a lot of people that have needs. So that one thing you can do is, if you're a property management company and you're well known in the community, they will send you those referrals for people that are currently looking for housing. And also you will get referrals from great tenants. Make sure part of occupancy is your reputation on your current property. Check your social media sites and make sure that you have great reviews. You can also, if you want, look at seeing how can you boost your reviews. What can you do in your property to boost your reviews? Check with your compliance department, but that's one of the things you want to handle too. Fourth thing you want to do, speaking of compliance, and you as a property manager, you have to handle risk and compliance for the owner. If you are a HUD property, if you are a tax credit property, if your state requires, or depending on the funding and the lending for the property, you may have certain things you need to do. So you want to make sure you know you have the forms filled out correctly, you have the correct identification, you're running and screening the correct tenants, you're verifying the correct documents. In today's time of forgery, you want to make sure you have the ability or use software to where you are able to detect forged documents. So that's one of the things you want to do, is manage risk. If you have a inspection of the unit, you want to make sure you coordinate with the proper government authorities to handle your inspections to make sure you are in compliance. And our fifth thing that we're going to talk about is part of your job as a property manager is to handle inspections. Inspections can be fun. We know we've walked into those units that are scary. A lot of those units, they may have a hoarding unit, they may have pest issues, but in order to know, you as a property manager have to inspect these units. You need to physically be inside of the units. Make sure you give proper notice to your residents. If your lease says 24 hours, make it 24-hour notice. If it says 48 hours, do 48 hours. You can also be giving your tenant a notice will allow them to make sure the unit is clean. Most people will make sure it's clean and ready for you. So the further out of notice you can give, the better time you're going to have. Make sure you're inspecting the units. Inspect the units on move in, inspect the units on move out. If someone decides to tell you they're no longer living in the unit or wanting to stay, make sure you schedule your process to make sure you have your occupancy taken care of, which is another client ready for it. But then you're also checking the unit with your maintenance department to schedule your vendors to know what you will need to do prior to and when the current tenant moves out. So those are the 5 things you want to do as a property manager. These are 5 things that most people don't think property managers do. It's a really good job. My goal here at Prep and Prosper is still to learn. I travel over, I manage over 10,000 units as far as giving them property solutions and help bringing them up to par. So I go in, I help properties that are struggling, and I hope to help you guys that are property managers bring up your properties too. Prep and Prosper. Thank you guys for today. Hopefully you have another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. And I'm going to leave a quick clip of just some inspections, just some walkthroughs we had for our Section 8 unit this week, and give you guys some real footage. And don't forget, thank you. Have a great day. All right, guys, we're here. We're going to meet the inspector at the unit. We're going to do an actual inspection. Hopefully we pass today. Let's get it. That's what I need.
That's pretty handy.
Instead of carrying around a broomstick.
Let me tell you, man, some of these new complexes, they got some.
As you can see, we have just passed the Section 8 inspection. Thank you to our maintenance staff. Thank you to our leasing staff. Another great apartment. We're going to have the person moved in this week. Let's go. Prep and prosper. Get those apartments rented.